here you are. We got Andrea Hope right now, okay?
Hello.
Midwest in the house.
Yes.
She is the owner, the founder, the creator, the developer, the amazing woman that's behind the Mirror Beauty Center.
Correct.
We got to hear you.
Yes, I'm like, correct. Correct.
Yes. Let us know. She is here.
I am here.
So what's happening?
A lot is happening. I'm definitely in a new role for me that I am learning day by day, but it's exciting. And I am glad to be where I am.
Gratitude is everything, right?
So glad to be where I am.
I mean, just think about it. You from Chicago.
Yes. Southside, Hyde Park, to be exact.
Southside Hyde Park. That's the Bob? Why you said
No,
Hyde Park? Like, what up, though? Like,
Hyde Park. That's where I was born.
What's Hyde Park about?
It is off of Lakeshore Drive.
Is it nice, the neighborhood? Is it the hood?
It's a nice area.
Like okay.
It's changed over the years. I went back maybe like 2 years ago to just actually like stay there for a while. I was there for like 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, it's changed so much from when I was a kid.
Okay.
But I was raised here in LA.
Oh, so born in Chicago, raised
here. Spent my summers in Chicago. So I would, at the end of the school year, I would leave. And then I would be gone like all summer.
Well, this is for high school or college? You would leave? Wait.
Starting in elementary school.
Oh.
So elementary school, middle school. It kind of stopped maybe like 10th grade of high school. I would stay here. I'm like, I got friends. I'm a teenager.
What, you have family over in Chicago you would stay with or something?
Yeah, my grandmother.
Oh.
Yeah, my grandmother. I have aunts, uncles, all throughout different parts of the city. So we definitely would, bounce around from house to house with my cousins when I'm in town. And then my mother is from New York. So sometimes
New York?
Yeah, she's from Queens. So sometimes I would leave and go to New York for like a week or two and then go back to Chicago and then come back like a day before school started here in LA. I'll be gone all summer.
And then you went so you did elementary through college in Cali?
I did some of elementary in Atlanta.
Oh, you done had a little moment, Andrea.
Yeah, move around a little bit in Atlanta. And then I got here second grade.
Okay.
And so from second grade on, I was here, raised in LA, went to school out here until it was time for me to go out of state for college.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a good. What did you study?
So I did broadcast journalism and communications.
Okay.
At the Walter Cronkite School of Broadcast Journalism.
So what's it called?
At the Walter Cronkite School of Broadcast Journalism.
I heard the heck out of that.
Yeah.
That was a good experience.
That was a good experience.
Okay.
College was fun.
Okay.
Out of state.
Okay.
Yeah. Part of sorority. Very active on campus.
Okay, sorority. What is your organization?
I'm Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Okay.
Yeah.
The ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Okay. If you didn't know, you better ask somebody. Hello, Kamala Harris.
Yes, absolutely.
Listen, I'm going to throw the flowers where they lay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went to college and then you said, broadcast journalism. I want to go into beauty. What?
I said broadcast journalism. I want to go into entertainment. All right. So I was like, oh, okay. I want to do something in entertainment. Dabbled around, figure out where I wanted to fall, and that is currently my day job.
Okay. Are you like on camera, behind the mic? Are you
I do
writing?
everything behind the scenes.
Okay.
On the entertainment and sports side.
Okay.
And then I was like, but I'm a product junkie. So like I would go do entertainment, but anything beauty, anything like fashion, I'm like sucked in. I'm like, oh, I wish I worked in the beauty. Oh, I wish I worked. So I'm like, okay, I can't keep wishing that I worked in beauty. So how do I put myself into that industry?
And it's like we kind of met in the beauty realm, but not really because we were modeling.
We're modeling.
Yes, but tell them what we were modeling.
We were modeling for our good sis. She is VVIP.
Yes, she is VVIP. What up, though?
What's up, Benea?
What up, though? We outside.
What's up?
And we getting fit and fine.
That's
and our
right.
VVIP.
IP.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. And so we met at that shoot.
Yeah.
And I remember we were doing a hike and we doing our thing at Run Your Lord. I was trying to make sure I didn't sweat and then melt the makeup off. But you began to tell me these aspirations. You're like, Dawn, I'm going to start this business. And you were like, I want you to do like a voicemail or something. I was like, okay.
Yes.
And
it was your voice for me. I was like, oh, I was brainstorming, putting it out in the universe.
Come on, because we speak things into existence.
Yes. So I was already talking about it, with people that I'm like, oh, okay, this is good energy. If I felt the good energy, I'm like, okay, I can share when we're talking about our dreams and goals and aspirations. A lot of times, you pick up energy and I don't always feel that, so I don't always share as much, but I definitely received that from you.
How did you learn to trust that?
Just my intuition.
What it feels like, right? They say you know the truth by the way it feels. And I'm working on that because half the time I'm not listening. I am, like I feel it, but then my ego gets in the way and I'm going to just do it anywhere. I'm just going to bypass it. And I look back like, damn, Dawn, you should have just listened.
Yeah.
Listen. Ooh. Okay, sorry. Okay.
No, you're fine. No. Listening is so important, or observing in silence. Silence.
I'm loud and rambunctious, so it's like I'm always turned up, but I'm learning to be still, Dawn.
Be still.
Slow down, gym shoe.
Listen and observe.
Okay,
That's
so you was listening and observing me. You said, Dawn, you got a voice.
Yeah, and you told me what you did, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. And I was like, ooh, okay. I personally sometimes listen to my voice back, and I'd be like, ooh, right? Not so great, right? But I was like, oh, okay, I want to use Dawn's voice for something. And I was like, oh, when I open my business, I was like, she's going to be the voice behind it. The same business.
Come on, consistency.
And I was like, oh, I'll just use Dawn's voice instead of mine because I love the way it sounds. It's so soothing to the ears. So that's kind of where we are. And then I was like, once it got going and Mirror was actually opened, I was like, and I saw you doing your thing. I'm, watching you and hearing you. I'm like, yes. And I was like, you know what? I said I was going to reach out to Dawn. I need to do that.
Okay,
and
so wait.
Through.
And now we did, because listen, I hadn't seen Andrea in probably like years with the pandemic and everything. And then we ran into each other at the Staples Center. Is it just, wait, what is it now?
Crypto.com.
Crypto.com. Whose concert was it? Summer Walker was there. Jasmine Sullivan.
Ari Lennox.
It
was a girl's night.
And Saucy and Santana.
Yes.
That's
right.
And we ran into each other, so we had to bring it back. But let's go back. You said, okay, I'm going to use Dawn's voice to open up this beauty center. I wanted to say beauty supply store. What is the beauty center? And then we got to talk about what was the process like of getting that together. I mean, it's a whole storefront.
It is. It is a whole storefront. The center versus supply for me, I feel like Black women in particular, when we shop sometimes in our neighborhood mom and pop beauty supply, it's kind of just, to me, thrown together. There's no organization, and it's just, a bunch of stuff on the shelves and like clutter. And so for me, I don't know, center just sounds a little more, elegant and luxe. And I believe we deserve that when we shop. We spend a lot of money in the beauty industry. Yeah. So when we come in, we want to feel like, oh, like I want to spend my money here.
And have an experience.
Have a true experience.
With someone that looks like me, can understand me, that all that good stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
Representation when you walk in, feeling bright and like, oh, okay, this is nice. I want to be here. Like, this is like home when I walk in. Safe,
it's comfortable, and more importantly, I can trust what's in there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I switched the words up and went with center over supply.
I even like the mirror. I just thought of this now. It's like you can see yourself.
Yeah.
Like, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
You are beauty.
Hey!
Like, you are beauty. It's about a reflection. So when you look in the mirror, you ever done the mirror test? You know what that is?
No, what is the mirror test?
The mirror test is when you stand in front of the mirror and you write everything that you love about your body, and then you accept all your flaws that you see in the mirror about your body or yourself, your face, whatever it might be, and then learning to accept those. And so it's a lot deeper than just what's on the outside. It starts what's in the inside.
Listen.
So that's kind of where the mirror mirror comes from.
Nothing to do with Snow White.
Nothing to do with Snow White.
Okay.
Because the story of Snow White isn't always that great, so you got to take it and spin it and made it something more positive.
Come on, rose that grew from the concrete. Come on, piece of coal that turned into a diamond.
And
come on, rain that turned into a rainbow. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
No, there's like lots of meanings behind it. So it's like reflection, acceptance, your flaws, loving what you maybe don't always love so much, but loving that. And that every reflection is different. So what we grew up seeing in the media is what we were taught as beautiful, but that's not true at all. And so when you look in the mirror, you see that.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's all behind Mirror Mirror.
That's all behind Mirror Mirror.
That is absolutely astounding. And you said, see yourself and loving yourself, and then even appreciating your flaws, because I think half the time when we look at things that we don't like, we want to change because we don't like it.
Right.
Rather than positivity begets positivity. If I'm loving on it right, whichever part of the body, whichever individual, whichever thing that is, I'm going to take care of it.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to nurture and for it to grow to be as refined in its best presentation it is to be possible. So rather than negating or pushing back what it is that we are, loving and cultivating a way that reflects truly who we are on the inside and the outside.
Absolutely. That's Andrea, what it's about. That's what it's about. Yeah. Wow. And it's hard to do that.
Did you always love yourself? Like, because you're very beautiful. Like, did you ever struggle or issue with your confidence?
Absolutely. I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like everyone goes through
phases. Talking about you. What was your thing? Like, my thing has always been my weight. I didn't realize that, and whatever that meant to be attractive or pretty, not because I based it on my weight. I think I hid everything behind my weight. So I didn't even give myself room to even say, hey, Dawn, your face or whatever. Like, I know I hold a face card.
Yes, you do, beauty. Okay.
But it took a lot that I feel like I was hiding under my weight for whatever reason. So what was your thing? Because to have a beauty center, it would be interesting to know if you did have a struggle with your own beauty, or perhaps your thing was to always stay confident in yourself.
No, absolutely. I definitely had my moments where I would either my complexion, someone would say something to me and I'd be like, dang, like it didn't make me feel the way, so it would make me a little insecure.
What would they say? I didn't realize there was a whole light skin thing until I went to Howard.
Yeah.
Meaning, I guess in the Midwest, Dawn's experience growing up in Detroit, let me not speak for everybody. If you were light skinned, you were brown, you were just that thing. Now, probably because I was part of the group and when the whole light skin was cute or fine thing that I didn't really experience a disparity. But it wasn't until I went to Howard that it was forced that, oh my gosh, you're light skinned. It's like, I know I'm light skinned. Okay. And, just saying that you're a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, this is just historical content based on at Howard's campus. Of the whole paper bag test.
Correct.
That was something that you actually felt that you experienced. Not with your organization, but just in general.
In general, absolutely.
What was that like? What do people like? Don't play with me, Andrea. You're too dark or you're too light.
It would be more like, oh, you're dark. Or, you just hear like complexion comments. Or you're pretty for a black girl. Or you're pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Or you're pretty for... And I'd be like, oh, I'm not just pretty? So it was like a backhanded compliment. And I'm like, I guess that's a compliment, but it's not a compliment.
Because there's some type of condition that you didn't meet that standard. But, because let me add that. That's insane.
So I definitely would. Or just different comments about complexion.
Did you ever try to make yourself lighter?
No.
Okay.
I would feel myself but my mother always taught me that sunscreen is not just in the summertime. It's year round. So I was always that girl putting on sunscreen, but it wasn't because of the complexion thing. It was because that's what my mother taught me. Part of my skincare routine.
Hello, somebody, as she's glowing. You see it.
Yes. And I'm like, the skincare routine started like back when we were young, but that was the thing. And sometimes like super skinny, like, that was the insecurity. So like straight up and down, no hips,
I just
no
learned
butt,
about
no
that
curves.
too. Wow.
Yeah. I was just tall and lean, and I was an athlete, but I didn't really get any like muscle or tone until high school. So growing up as a kid, I was just a straight up and down, brown skin girl.
Find her confidence. And now you have a business focused on beauty. Isn't it amazing that our dreams and aspirations, they feed a source to ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's why it's so important that whatever you're going after is to understand that it should be feeding you in a way.
Yeah.
And I say that with Jeremiah, I say that with anybody that I'm working with, is that I want to ensure as I'm on pursuit of my dream that you're getting something out of it.
Yeah.
That you also set your boundaries, because at the end of the day, we're only as good as what we can put into it. And if you aren't able to put in a good seed, what is the fruit of it? And why not transfer that seed into a beautiful Mirror Beauty Center?
Correct. But it's also for like, when I think about it and I was like developing the business, it's like little girls like me growing up that you could see, like, regardless of what the industry might show you or what you see on TV and the magazines and the movies as pretty or, gorgeous, whatever the case may be. I'm like, that's not true. So, doing that mirror test, accepting and being confident in yourself and loving yourself and being safe within the beauty space and knowing that there is a space for you is important. It's part of what the center is there for as well, to give back to the community, for women to come together from all different backgrounds, shapes, sizes, shades, long hair, short hair, C4 hair, everything, and come together and experience and talk about. Like, some products might work for you that might not work for me, but I will know that, we share our experiences through beauty, through product, through hair,
conversation,
through
communication.
Yeah.
And you talked about this community space. And also understand that one of the great things that you offer is that you have different products, from whether it be up and coming small business owners, as well as you have a space in the back, because Jeremiah had a chance to visit location, where you possibly may, or if you haven't already, started holding classes and so forth.
Correct.
Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. So within the space, we do highlight brands that are Black and Brown founded, as well as independent brands, and give them a space to be in a store and the community, and people come in and actually inquire and like, what is this brand? And now you are getting the exposure from someone who might not ever see you on Instagram or might not know your website because it's not right in their face, because you're just growing your brand as well.
How in the world does somebody get that opportunity?
So if they contact us, come into the store.
Where do they contact?
So they're contacting us either on Instagram,
which is
at Mirror Beauty Center.
Okay.
They can call us.
What's the number?
It is 818-964-4181. So they can call us, they can Instagram us, they can email us. All the information is on our Instagram. You can email us at mirrorbeautycenter@gmail.com.
I heard the hell out of that.
We're currently working on our website, which will be up as soon as well. But they can reach out to us and we can have that conversation about getting shelf space, getting your brand into the space, and which allows people to learn about your brand and try your products and fall in love with them just like you would any other brand, something that has a big name behind it.
Yeah, because it's all about the opportunity, but we have to understand that with opportunity, there needs to be space for that opportunity to grow and to flourish. Absolutely. And, like you said, I feel like African-American women, like, we lead when it comes down to trends, when it comes, everything culture-wise.
Set the standard.
And when we look at beauty, even down to the point, and it's no shade, or is it shade? People want to replicate, they want to mirror us, yet you sometimes have to search high and low for a Black-owned beauty supply store/center. What's up with that? Is it like a firewall that says, hey, you're a minority, Black or brown, you can't own the center? We are the people that are using the products. We are influencing the products. Why is it so hard for us to take up space?
Yeah, it's always been that way. From some research that I obviously have been here forever, but over the time and over the years, of course, we could barely vote or, own property. And so as time goes on, it's like, okay, we are the number one consumers within the beauty products, especially when it comes to hair. Like,
okay, so wait, we're going to stop right there. Because when it comes to hair, you know where it's at. Okay, so listen, we have Andrea in here. She's talking about her Mirror Mirror Beauty Supply Center.
Yes.
We're talking about all the amazing products that she offers, the opportunities they offer. And now we're going to talk about where the space is for a lot of African American, should I say women or just business owners?
Business owners, women,
all that.
consumers.
If you're trying to figure out how to get in, chill. Andrea's right here. We're going to give it to you all. So we're going to be right back, okay? All right. I want to encourage you to dream big. Like, you got to dream big. I woke up one day, I hit my J, and I was on the computer. And I don't know if I ever told you, but angel numbers stand out to me. And I was paying something on a credit card bill, and the amount that I owed was exactly 222. Immediately, I broke into tears. Not because I was sad or anything, not because I'm looking at my account. It was more so because I know that's God talking to me. I know that's the universe, the realm speaking to me. And then these thoughts of exceedingly and beyond. And I'm just looking around. I say, God, you wouldn't have given me this vision, this passion on my heart if it's not going to come to pass. God doesn't tease to take away. God isn't slow to keep his promise. It's just that us as a people, we have to understand our patience and understand the importance of timing, but also understand the importance of dreaming big. Now, I'm not sure if you believe in God or whatever it is that you believe in, but as far as me, believing in God and God promised exceedingly and beyond. So if I'm dreaming big about something, right, that sounds insane. Like I tell everybody, I'm going to be bigger than Oprah. Watch. To many, it sounds insane, right? It sounds mind-blowing, right? If I can fathom to imagine that, my God said, exceedingly and beyond, far more than what you could ever imagine. What are you dreaming for with your life? We don't have time to play small. We are all special offers here for a limited time. So if I can dream this big, right? And I think that it could be this amazing. God says exceedingly and beyond that, whereas incomprehensible. It also reminded me at that time to say, it's time to get out the way, Dawn. You know, this frustration, you know how we get irritated because we're like, oh, it's not happening now. When is it going to happen? When is it my turn? When is somebody going to give me something? Well, you asked for a godly thing, right? You asked for exceedingly and beyond, right? Who do you think that you are to figure out how God is going to fulfill the promise on your life when the promise was just simply to dream big? The promise was simply to trust. The promise was simply to state, peace, be still. Are you robbing yourself of your peace? Are you shortchanging yourself of your joy? I want you to dream big. Because God said exceedingly and beyond, far more than what you could ever imagine. It's yours for the asking. Catch it. So here you are. You said, okay, let me figure out a way to find my voice so that I can be heard and to speak amongst a lot of African American women. And when we came back, or before we left, we talked about as far as where's the presence when it comes to our brown and Black people in the beauty space when it comes down to owning centers and supply stores. And what did you have to say the challenge was?
I feel like we own a very small percentage. It's like 5% of beauty supply stores. And that's on a more like mom and pop level. So when I do research and you look at some of the bigger companies, the people running them, CEOs, are mostly men. So that means like Sephora and Ulta or Sally's. Sally's is not a woman. It was founded by a man. So the CEO of Sephora is also a man. And so there's a lot of companies out there that on a larger scale are ran and operated by men who barely use the products that they're selling, but they're selling to the woman.
Dictating our beauty rather than us allowing ourselves to define it.
Right. So for me, I see a lot of woman-owned brands out there, of course, like Rihanna. There's Pat McGrath. And Rihanna having Fenty really changed the game, right? And I feel like Pat was out before Rihanna, but Rihanna has a bigger presence in names. A lot of people
You say Pat? Who's Pat?
Pat McGrath.
Yeah, Pat McGrath.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know.
I've seen McGrath.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know who she is. And she's been around since the 90s. She's a makeup artist. Back starting with doing Naomi Campbell's makeup and Tyra Banks. Yeah.
So she's a woman of color?
She's a woman of color.
Come on!
She's a woman of color. Before there was Rihanna, there was Pat.
And the reason why I think it's so important to have these conversations is because just like New York Fashion Week happened this year, a model had put on Instagram how whatever they were trying to do to their hair, but you find oftentimes how people are saying they can't find the right makeup, and we have talented makeup artists turn to beauty. What do we call these?
Brand developers.
With the products that we need, but guess what? Yeah. There's no space for them to reside.
Right. So,
but now there's Mirror Beauty Center.
Yeah, there is. And so like Pat is also in Sephora with Rihanna, but Rihanna has her name. Right. So a lot of people are like, really? And a lot of people don't know she's Black, but I'm like, Pat is Black. She's the OG. Like I said, she's from the 90s, started out as a makeup artist, and then she developed a line. And then there's Rihanna. But outside of us creating all these brands, there's no ownership in space. So like a goal for Mirror is to get Rihanna, Fenty, makeup and skin.
Come on.
Hey, Riri. And Pat McGrath, like OG in Mirror. To get Pattern by Tracee Ellis Ross. Also an honorary SOAR member as well of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So there's women out there that they have all these brands, and they're in companies, though, or under a roof of someone who's operating that's white or a man.
Why you got your voice down low when you're saying this?
That's white or not, anyone of color. There's a lot of boardrooms, and I look and I read and I research, and sometimes I look at these names and I'm like, is that a man or is that a woman? For the CEO of Sephora in particular, I had to Google and figure it out. I was like, oh, that's a man.
And people don't talk about that.
No. And so, Sephora is such a big name, and Ulta is such a big name. Even Sally's, like I said, the founder of Sally's is not a Sally. Like, her name is not Sally. It's a man. And we, as women and African-American, Black and brown founders, we create these brands that go in stores that are operated, not by us. So I wanted to create a space that's a store operated, and eventually Mirror will grow. And I want to have execs and boards delegate.
It is growing,
but to delegate and have a team, and bringing in brands such as like I said, Fenty and stuff like that.
And then smaller brands. Shout out to my girl Jessica Chambliss with Nova Sage.
Oh,
why not? Right?
Why not? Yeah, smaller brands, and there's a lot of brands out there that I do not know, but I want to get a chance to know them all.
Wow. Now, I can only imagine. You're stating when you're naming some of these major beauty companies that are owned by men, I'm imagining white men.
Correct.
What are some of the challenges that you faced having a supply center?
So for myself, being a woman, one was challenging just to set up some of my distribution accounts to even carry these brands.
Would you have to act like you were a man or something?
Well, it wasn't that. It would be, we're not accepting right now, or, right. They're like, we're not accepting any new clients right now. But I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. You want to make money, right? And I have money here to purchase what
you're not asking for a discount.
Right. I'm just setting up accounts to purchase, or finding the information, or, reaching out, and someone will get back to you, and the companies don't get back to you. So then I have to keep calling, keep emailing, keep calling. And they're probably like, gosh, but I'm not getting what I need. And you guys are a business. You guys are operating. So I don't understand why the communication is such a delay, 24 or 48 hours. But after that, it's like, what's happening? And so I would, have to have sometimes other people step in, meaning I went to one, for example, distribution center here in Los Angeles, and I walked in and they got to see who I was. So no one spoke English all of a sudden. Manager's not there. There might have been like Korean or Vietnamese or something like that. So this might sound bad, but I needed someone who spoke their language. So I reached out to my nail tech and I'm like, can you assist me? Because every time I go there, no one speaks English all of a sudden. So she was like, well, let's call them on the phone. So I call them on the phone. They speak to me a little more, but then I pass the phone like to my partner and she's open doors.
What?
Yeah, open doors. Oh, we're sending you the application. Here's the email. Here's, your minimum of order that you need to complete and get. All of a sudden, we have all the information.
Wait, she's speaking with them in English or in their language?
In their language.
Okay.
Yeah. So me speaking English and like when I walked in, it was like no one. I was like, hi.
Wow.
I'm here. Is there anyone that can help me? And then, they're speaking in their language. And someone's like, manager's not here.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, well, is there someone here on the floor that can assist me or help me? If you leave and they like pass me pen and paper, leave your information, someone will get back to you. Didn't hear back. So I drove back.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. So I was like, well, maybe it's every time they see me, I'm a woman, I'm black, a woman of color, yes. So it was just like, okay. So I needed to find another way in. So if that was the back door and reaching out to someone who spoke their language to get what I needed, that's what I did. So there's been a lot of that.
Wow. Yeah. I think I just said it or I stand in my head, how that's like a form of gatekeeping and keeping those out.
Keeping us out. Yeah, that was definitely.
Because why would you turn down some money?
Why are you turning down money? Your business. And the goal is to get
more business.
Get more business, get the product out to make more money. And you're gatekeeping and keeping us out.
Well, why isn't that? What's stopping people of color from being the distribution centers? Like, what's up with that? Like, how do we get to that part?
Right. So that is so crazy that is something that I'm kind of working on. It's like I was picking up an order yesterday and I asked him, did he have of a certain brand in there? And he was like, no, not yet, but she's coming here for the Taste of Soul, whatever that is. I was like, I need to look that up because she's coming.
Yeah, that's huge in LA.
Oh, it is?
Oh my gosh, she got all the food out there?
No, I didn't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she's like, the owner of the brand will be here for the Taste of Soul, and we have a meeting. She's a Black woman. So I'm like, and she's not in this distribution center. So I'm like, I wonder, is it purpose? Is she not a part of this distribution center for a reason? But there are some other ones that she's a part of. But all the ones that I'm dealing with, they're mostly Korean owned, just like our beauty supply stores in our communities. So I am interested in what is that process like? Why don't we have any ownership there? But we have such a small ownership in the beauty supply stores. And I'm like one step at a time. But I'm also like slow and steady, get the information you need to change the narrative once again when it comes to distribution.
Right, because we should have access to the things that we need, especially if we're leading the forefront.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting how just being a person of color, especially a woman of color, how many roadblocks that you get slapped into your face, left and right, up and down, and all the way around.
Yeah.
But you said something that's so interesting, and I feel that every person should know this, especially when pursuing their dream. You can't fail if you don't quit.
Right.
You can't allow somebody's no to dictate the yes on your life. So yes, they may have said, no, a manager's not here. No, someone's unavailable to speak with you. But because you understand that you're a creator, a creator that can create opportunity and possibility. You went to the next best thing. You found your homegirl or your partner to help you get this conversation going.
Right.
And now this is spearheading for you to create more opportunities like this Black, what's her name? Do we know her name? This Black business.
That's coming?
That's coming.
Yeah. She owns Miel.
Yeah, I don't know it. Tell somebody, how do you spell it? I'm not the beauty girl.
Mielle. It's in Target. It's a big brand.
Oh, so it's a huge brand. Okay.
It's a huge brand.
Okay, Miel.
And I believe I'm pronouncing it right, is Miel. She is Black, the owner, and she's Black, woman of color. And she is not in this in particular distribution center. Okay. So he did say that they're going to have a meeting. And I'm like, why are you having a meeting with her? I want to have a meeting with her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
now that she knows, hopefully Miel, she gets wind of this.
Yeah.
The owner of this.
Yeah, so, but there's a lot of that, and you just figure it out. And there's still a lot of brands that I'm still figuring out how to get them into this space.
So, okay, as you are figuring out how to create space and opportunity, is there some advice that you want to give somebody a heads up who's like, oh, I'm a smaller Andrea with those aspirations?
Yeah. I would say work really hard on what you want to do when it comes to the space. The space is huge. The beauty world and industry is huge, and it's a industry that's not going anywhere. So work and determine what that is. And then once you determine that, do the work to make sure that you get there. And don't quit.
Don't quit.
There'll be a lot of people who are going to say, that's a dumb idea. Or why do that? Or are you going to hit some roadblocks? People stopping you. It's just don't quit. Keep going. And as long as you believe in what you're doing, everyone else will follow suit and believe too.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's why it's called your vision, your dream for a reason.
It's yours. So remember that while you're working. There's a lot of times I'm like, what did I get myself into? Why did I do this to myself? But it's in me. Because if it wasn't in you, you wouldn't even been able to put the thought together. So when you do stuff like that, you know you're on the right track.
You're in a flow. Mm-hmm. You're honoring yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most beautiful gifts that you can give to yourself.
Yeah.
So you made mention about you having a 9 to 5. Do you plan to keep balancing both, or ultimately one day do you want to fully transition to being a beauty supply owner / distributor? Mm-hmm.
Yes. Eventually, I want to transition out of my corporate America position and job and focus solely on Mirror and growing the brand, growing the space, growing into distribution.
Your voice is getting low when you're saying it. Does it make you nervous?
It does. It scares me. I go, ooh.
What is the worst thing that can happen, you think? You'd be great.
Yeah, I'm like nothing unless, it just, it's just like, wow, that's just like big.
You didn't even want to say big.
Yeah, I'm like big that I'm just like, okay. And I'm like still like baby stepping, crawling before I walk.
Maybe you think that you are. Maybe you're actually taking leaps.
Yeah, maybe.
You're doing tricks. I mean, you just talked about how not a lot of people of color, let alone African-American women, own centers dedicated to beauty. And you're one of them.
Yes.
That says a lot. Says a lot. Same from the same young woman that was just here. If you rewind this podcast a bit, talking about finding her voice.
Yes.
Hello, somebody.
Hello. Yeah.
Hootie who?
Hello. Hello. Exactly. Very true. Yeah. It's scary. Every day when I wake up, I'm like, okay, let's get the day started. And I never know what's going to come with it. And then when I'm away from the space, because it's my baby and I'm still working, it's like I can't be as hands-on at that very moment that I would like to be.
And it's a lot of trust going after your dreams, right?
Yeah. So I'm trusting other people when I'm gone to run the business and operate it as I would. So that matters to me who's in the space, who's behind the counter, who's greeting you when you walk in. And answering your questions, that there's representation and knowledge behind the team that is the face of the center when I'm there or not there.
And that's important to find the right team.
Yes.
It just makes me think like, what does it mean and what does your support system look like? And who told you that you were possible?
My village, which starts with my mother. Yeah. My mom always tells me, baby, you can do anything you want to do. Go for it. Do it. Don't talk about it. Do it. Just don't talk. Like, even when I was like, I want to do this center, this space, I talked about it. She was like, so what are you doing to make that happen? You're just talking about it? You're just telling me every time you see a center or you go by something, I would come back and be like, man, they didn't have what I needed. Or I got to drive over here and then drive over here and drive over here, because the brands, there's such a separation and divide on the brands that are used by women of color versus used by, someone who is not. But there's a divide there. So you walk into certain stores and you're not going to see your edge control that you use.
Come on, edge control.
Right? To delay the baby hairs.
Okay.
Right? You're not going to see certain brands that we use in certain spaces. So like I was saying, like Miel, she's not in Sephora. She just got into Ulta, but she started in a Target and a Walmart. Right.
Which are major brands. When we talk about, really zoning in
on the beauty space.
Yeah.
Because Target and Walmart are not beauty spaces, right? They are large convenience stores that carry everything you need, from clothes to toys to home good to your, products and kitchen, right? You can go into Target and literally buy something from, you can buy pajamas, you can buy a vacuum, you can get groceries, but then you can also get hair care products, right? So in just the beauty space, that's not where some of our brands start, unless you have a big name behind you, someone backing you. And there are some brands out there, don't get me wrong, that are women-owned and minority-owned that do go straight to that level. But then there are more of those that don't than do.
And that's why we have spaces like Mirror Beauty Supply Center that are creating these opportunities for these Black and brown founders to exist.
Correct. Speaking
of which, can you tell me what is it about the Black and brown founder or what that means to you?
So for me, it's so important.
So start out the Black and brown. What is it? I don't even know what it is.
So if a brand that is founded by someone who is Black or brown, if that's a man or a woman, we want to give you a space. Come on. Because there are a lot of brands out there that are still looking for space and to have a spotlight shine on them.
Because we shedding light.
Yes, on what they're doing, what they're creating. And you are just as important as someone who has maybe a big brand or a name backing them. And we want to give you a space. And that's what it's about for me. And it's always fun to find those brands.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you usually find them? Like, where are they existing? Because, for somebody that may not, gearing up to possibly give you a call and an email, how do you make yourself accessible for such a supply center or perhaps being represented or a distributor? Like, what should you be doing? Should you be posting on social media?
Absolutely. You should be posting on social media. You should be a part of any pop-ups or community events to shine light on your brand, to shine light on what you created. So just being active, putting yourself out there. Any opportunity to be a part of an event, I feel like you should, but posting on social media. A lot of times I'm scrolling, or word of mouth.
Word of mouth. They always say
word of mouth. I might see somebody with something on or be like, oh my gosh, your hair looks great. I'm like, what kind of hair do you have in? Or, like for braids, sometimes I see braiding hair that I can tell is not what I'm using. I'm like, what brand braiding? And they'll be like, oh, it's human hair. I'm like, oh, that's the difference. Because there's so much out there. Or I'm like, your skin looks amazing. What is your skincare routine now? What products are you using? And sometimes people will put me on brands like, you never heard of this brand? I'm like, no. Like, it's amazing. You should try it. And the junkie in me, I'm like, I will try it.
I need a hit.
Yeah.
I need a hit right
I'm
now.
like, I will try it. You're right. And sometimes I love it and sometimes I don't, and that's okay. But now I know about this brand, and sometimes people ask me and I pass it along.
Right. Because that's what we're supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lifting while we climb. As we get information, we want to make sure that we shed it to somebody else.
Yeah. Sharing.
Yeah. Sharing is caring.
Yeah. Which for women, sometimes I feel like we struggle there.
Girl.
Like, we think we're each other's competition. So I'm like, but we're not. Because there's enough room for you to win, me to win, her to win, the next one behind us.
I've experienced it a couple times, and I think the grace and understanding, I don't know. I don't feel as though that people are coming from, oh, I got to stop you.
Yeah.
I feel like it's coming from survival of when you've been restricted from food. So you don't even realize that it's taking more energy for you to pull me down versus if we work together. Because that's what it is. Everybody's trying to get out. And you're talking about just simply going to a distribution. They're saying the manager isn't here. We can't have a conversation. There's so many people in so many different arenas that are talking about, oh, they're not here. Oh, we can't have the conversation. Somebody get a peek of light or somebody open them out. Wait, move out the way.
Right.
But I was listening to Joel Osteen, and it's something that I think we all have to be reminded of, is that when something has your name on it, it's not going to any other address than you.
Right.
So this whole trying to divert the route, try to delay it, you can't stop what's meant for you.
Right.
Because it's coming. Now, one thing we talked about, or I had Jeremiah ask you about, is some of your top 5 products.
Yeah.
What are your products? What products you like?
Okay. So I can grab them.
Yeah, you can grab, pull them out.
I'm like, I did.
She brought something.
So this is where your goodie bag comes into.
Oh, okay. So she said this was my goodie bag. So,
yes.
Okay, so wait, or which one go first?
You can go ahead. Because 2 of my products are in there. Oh, okay, and I wanted to share them with you just in case you did not know about these brands yet.
Oh my God. Okay, listen, I love gifts. I love to eat and I love to be affirmed. Oh my God.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and we could talk about it together. Bam. So, first one up that I love, that I use, is Black Girl Sunscreen. Woman-owned, Black-owned.
Hold it to the camera.
Black Girl Sunscreen. Like I said, from a very young age, I was always taught that sunscreen should be year-round, just not in the summer. So this definitely is one of my go-tos. There's no like white cast for the melanin in our skin that we love. So yeah.
No white residue.
That's right. And it has some good ingredients in it. So definitely one of my go-tos for sunscreen.
So what attracted, who's the founder? Okay, I take it they're Black women.
They're
Please
Black
say they're
women.
Black.
Yes.
Okay.
They're Black women. They've been around for a few years, and I know I just love them.
Well, I love skincare. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm big on skincare. So go ahead.
Okay, great. She's like, go on. I'm like, okay.
So
what's this?
We have. So I love skincare. This is K&C Beauty, which is also a woman-owned brand, and they're eye patches.
Why are eye patches so good?
Eye patches help with puffiness and if you're a little tired and fine lines sometimes, depending on the ones you use. But there's so many different ones out there. But I do like these. I do use them morning and night sometimes. Especially working the hours I'm working lately. I still gotta look, you
gotta hold it.
Hold it together. So, and these are infused with retinol, which is really good.
That's what got me excited.
Yeah.
I just had a peel. Andrea, my face has been, when I say lit up, like there's some footage that we haven't been able to use in the studio because my face has been lit. I don't know if it was like a hormonal thing, if I had taken something, but I just got my glycolic pills, so I'm excited about it.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, you gotta hold.
Yes. So, and retinol is good. If you don't have retinol in your skincare regimen, it should be. You'll thank me later.
Right, because we're peeling off layers. Right?
Yeah.
And that's important because we have to remove in order to absorb the moisturization, all that kind of good stuff.
Good with fine lines. And
if somebody doesn't know, can you just give a quick little glance or explanation of what retinol is?
Retinol is, hold on, let me show you. So number 3 of my product is a retinol serum that It is, you can get it prescription, but there's...
Or esthetician. Sometimes they have it at low amounts in their products.
Right, lower amounts. But you can also go to your dermatologist and get a prescription, which is a little stronger. But if you want to start off with something a little more mild, you can definitely... So this is a retinol serum.
What's the name on there?
So this is... Please forgive me because I don't even want to mess up her name.
Shani or Shania Darden?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't even mess it up. But she's also a woman and Black owned as well. She is in Sephora, but this is a retinol reform serum that you use at night. Retinol is good at night, but because it is a stronger serum that is refreshing that first layer of skin, that's why I say sunscreen is so important. The next day you want to make sure you put on the sunscreen on the face, and you always want to pat in, by the way. Pat and lift up. Pat and lift up.
Pat and lift up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do the face exercise? My mom used to say.
I do sometimes.
Just to get the jawline.
Yeah, get the jawline. And it's just good to just, before coming in here, I was doing that in the car. When you get ready to speak a whole lot, yeah, it's good. But this is definitely any retinol, really. But this is what I'm currently using. And then when I need a little extra, I'll get something from my dermatologist, which is obviously a bit stronger because it's, prescription. Okay. So far we have Black Girl Sunscreen, woman-owned, Black-owned, K&C Beauty, which is also woman-owned. I want to say I don't know exactly if she's Black, but I feel like she's like somewhere up in there.
She's in the spectrum?
She's in the spectrum.
Okay, she got some flavor.
Oh, yes. And she is same thing. And that's retinol. So those are all skincare. I'm going to switch it over to some hair. So this is a Gold Lust hair oil by Aubrey.
Show them. Oh, well, hair, okay.
Hair oil.
Look, a fragrance. I love the packaging on that.
Yes, isn't it great? I want
to smell it.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
Go. I love oils. I feel like our hair needs all different types of oils. And sometimes I don't always oil, I feel like, as much as I should. But, you need certain oils on your scalp.
Oh, wow. Right? It smells good. Smells
amazing. On your scalp versus on your strands versus
I don't
on
feel
your
greasy.
Ends. Yes. It is amazing. I would say that. It smells great. It's light. It has nutrients in it for the hair. I take it all the way down to my ends.
All the way down to the roots.
All the way down.
Up to the roots, down to the
ends. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely a good go-to, but I feel like oils are important. Mm-hmm. So that's my goal.
Because if you think about it, when we get old, we just get... Oh my God, it sounds so morbid. We get dry and decrepit.
Yes,
oh my God.
Dry.
Stay moisturized.
Stay hydrated and moisturized. Okay. So, and then we do hair. So for the edges and the slick a ponytail, do your baby hairs. I use Kinra, which is a wax, like matte finish hold. I don't really like...
Oh, that shine. It's like, I know what you put in your hair.
Right. So I like it to come from the oils, not because the product is oily or greasy.
Right. I understand what you're saying.
So it slicks the way I need it to.
I smell it. Yeah. Oh, it's a really...
Oh, and it smells amazing, too. I love things that smell good. Because, people, come in for a hug. You smell me, right?
Air your business.
Then you smell of me from my head to my skin to my oils, So this is definitely something. And all these also are available in Mirror. Besides this one, which I'm trying to get her in here as well.
Okay. So, we're calling for you.
Yeah. That's 5. I have one more.
Go ahead. Yeah. Spread the word that you love.
It's for the body. So body oil, because like you said, we get dry.
Yeah.
So in winter months, summer months.
Right. We're going into fall. Right.
We're going into fall. So I always mix, you can mix your oils and your lotions, but I do love the Kiehl's dry body oil. It smells amazing. Mm-hmm. You must smell. And you spray it out and...
oh, wow.
Fresh out the shower, and it definitely... Yes.
Rub on me.
Yes, it's definitely go-to. So those are my skincare body hair care products that I used all of them this morning.
And no wonder why you glowing like this.
I used them all this morning.
Listen, if you didn't know, you better check out Mirror Mirror Beauty Center. I was saying supply. I added that word in here. Beauty Center, open 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
10 to 8. Saturday, 10 to 7. Then Sunday, 12 to 5.
Yeah.
Even brought in, I got a personal product that she sells in the store.
Yeah.
Black Girl Sunscreen. You got to check it out. I love this. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
Now,
thank you.
You've been giving us so much information. I have this segment and it's called Shed Light on This.
Okay.
You ready? It's going to take some thinking, not too much.
Okay.
All right. So let me tell you. Shed Light on This is a segment where you are going to be given a scenario.
Okay.
It's going to be with a character who's dealing with a situation that they don't necessarily know how to handle. Now, your task is to come up with a solution that you believe would work best for the situation. There's no right or wrong answer. Just give your advice from your knowledge and your experience, your life experience.
Okay.
Andrea, are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is where we need a song like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. They'd be like, that would be everything. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Veronica has just launched her first card game company. Her first product is a questionnaire game based on dating topics. Believing that her card game would succeed immediately, she ordered over 600 decks of cards for her inventory. It has been 6 months and she has only sold 10 orders. She has a social media page for her business, but it has not gotten much traction. She is now stuck with nearly a full inventory and her confidence in continuing her company has plummeted. She spent so much time and money into this idea and she fears that it was all for nothing. She is debating whether to cut her losses and give up on her business or to figure a new way to increase her sales. Andrea, can you shed some light on this?
Absolutely. One is Vanessa, right?
Veronica.
I knew it was in the V's. Veronica, don't quit. You don't want to give up on your dream. You want to pivot, right? So your social media page isn't getting the traction that you feel like it needs. So what are other options we can do? That means, reaching out to a company where you could put your cards in a space that people already know and love. Because when they're in there, they're coming across a new brand, such as like Mirror Mirror, where they're like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is cool. And they want to give it a try. But when you're talking to these stores or companies, you come up with a way to, maybe there's a wholesale program where it's like, hey, up front you buy, a dozen. So therefore you have just got rid of some of your inventory and have already gotten your profit. Now what they want to do with it once they buy it from is up to them. So you might be selling your cards on your site for $15, but they might get in store because now they can do whatever they want unless you have them under a contract, and they might sell them for $30. But no matter what, you still got rid of them and you still got your profit from them. So there's other ways to pivot and move when things are not going your way. So I would just don't quit and pivot and start to think outside the box on your cards. Maybe there's an event happening, pop-up, farmer's market, a dating, what is it, when they do like the speed dating, and they have little goodies you can buy and give. Or then sometimes it is being a sponsor to something just so people can, sometimes you have to give to get.
Come on.
Right?
And you got to think about it. So you can't just be holding on to everything. Because what are you going to have to take in your hand?
Exactly. So you give a little, you can get a lot sometimes too. So I would learn to put yourself out there, be involved in something small, a pop-up, a farmer's market, a block party, a dating, and they're like dating cards. So put yourself in position when it comes to something dating-wise. That would be my advice.
I love that.
Give. Pivot. Think outside the box.
So how can people find you, Andrea, if they want to get involved with Mirror Mirror, just whatever? What do they do?
So we have our Instagram, like I said earlier, which is Mirror Mirror Beauty Center. There, we are located at 20642 Ventura Boulevard in Woodland Hills. California, in the San Fernando Valley, which is where I grew up. And our email is mirrorbeautycenter@gmail.com. Our website, which is in the works and hopefully will be launching within the next month, it will be mirrorbeautycenter.com as well. And all our information will be on the site. Contact us. Come see us. Come shop with us. The team is there. Myself is there. If you're interested in getting in the store, we would love to have the conversation. Love to hear about your brand or your products. And yeah, I look forward to seeing more of the community come out too.
I love that. Yeah. And it's a braid and bar and studio services available?
Yes, in the back where there's esthetician, we also have a braid bar on the other side. Both in the back of the store, but yeah, our braider. So it's great. Just a space where you can come do a little skincare, get your hair done, learn about some products or cool brands, get your everyday essential needs. And the brands are curated by me personally, where I feel like those are, something good for you. I do look at ingredient lists. I am big on that. Just like with my food.
Because you gotta know what you're putting inside your body and on top of your body.
On, in. So I look at labels a lot. It's important to know what you're using. You might eat something or use something that doesn't work and doesn't work well with you. And then you want to learn to stay away from that.
One size mirror doesn't fit all.
Absolutely. Doesn't.
Catch it.
That's why there's so many brands out there.
Catch it.
That's why there's so many cookies.
Come on.
Breads and cereals when you walk down. That's another thing when people are like, oh, don't follow your dreams. There's too many of this. Because people used to tell me it's saturated. And I'm like, because there's like beauty store here, there's a beauty store over there, there's a beauty store here, there's one there. There's a Sephora, there's an Ulta. Why would anyone want to come to Mirror? Just like you might like Frosted Flakes and I like honeycomb. That's why.
Catch it.
Options.
Right. Yes.
Options.
Because there's a different kind of girl that wants a steak that you may get from Mastro's, that you may get from Fridays. Just depending on what you want.
Depending on what you want.
What girl are you? What kind of guy are you? What they are you? I'm just asking. Anything else?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
It's so good to see you.
It's so great to see you.
Yes. And thinking about another woman, business owner, Black, brought us together.
Come on.
As I said, it's all about working together, coming together, bringing great women together. And look what it's turning into.
I know, right? Because you know it takes a village.
It takes a village.
Thank you, V. Shout out to Vinay.
Yes.
Check out her clothing line. She is VVIP. Oh, soy.
Yes.
Well, this has been a delight.
Yes.
If you'd like to be a guest and perhaps sit in this very chair that Andrea is sitting in, or you have a topic idea, I want to encourage you to shoot us an email. Vitamin D at dawndayspeaks.com. I would love to have you. And also, we do advice letters. So if you need some advice on your relationship, on your career, anything, email me. Now, I say this all the time, and I just want to serve as another reminder. What do I say? If you want to be better and you want to do better, you have to be able to see better. And that means taking the good with the bad. So when I'm giving you my advice on whatever situation, problem, circumstances, or circumstance that you're coming with, know that I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to shed light on things that may have you feeling a little uncomfortable, But you can't be what you cannot see, especially if you're seeing something that isn't real. So I want to provide that for you. Email me, vitamin D at dawndayspeaks.com. And furthermore, can you tell somebody to tell somebody else to tell somebody else that Dawn Day got a podcast, gosh darn it. And it's entitled Vitamin D with Dawn Day. And it's available wherever you get your favorite podcast. And while you're at it, go ahead and make a rating. You see those stars up there? Yeah, just press 5 and leave a comment. You know I'm working on my dreams. And I plan to be here for a long time. So make sure you're telling people so they can jump on the ride early so they already know me and what I'm about. So when we on the screen, on the TV show, you're going to be like, I know Dawn. I knew Dawn way, way, way back when. Yeah? Also, if you want to see beautiful Andrea in studio and the lovely products that she brought in. You know, you got to make sure you check us out on social media. We're everywhere. Vitamin D Dawn Day. That's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, fan base. And you know, we hitting it with some Pinterest. Perhaps we need to have Andrea's pics of the products she named on the Pinterest account.
Yeah, I love that.
We're going to do that and feature that, okay? And let you know all the good stuff that Andrea's talking about. Furthermore, if you want to get down to the source, the vitamin D itself, it's me. You can follow me personally on all social media at Dawn Day Speaks. I love to hear from you. And did I tell you I'm grateful for you? I appreciate you so much. Let's be better together. Okay, so I'm going to head out of here. And you know I always say, I'm in the business of making dreams come true. And I damn sure ain't gonna forget about mine. So until next time, always remember, you are your greatest asset.
Get your vitamin D right here.